Hey everyone, Jeff here for Demise of Time, and this is going to be the second Vanilla Fudge album, The Beat Goes On. Now, I did just finish up reviewing the first album, which, it's not a favorite of mine, but I do understand why a lot of people like it a lot, and it was definitely a cool little album. This one is their second album. Don't really understand this one at all, to be honest. This was a really polarizing album when it came out, and it still is. You have a lot of people who really love it. You have a lot of people that really hate it. You have other people that are just like, this is so out there that I don't even know what the hell they were, what the hell's going on. And I don't like this album really very much at all, and I don't understand what exactly it is that they were attempting with this. So I guess you could put me in that camp. But, if you like this album, I'm not, trying to offend you or anything. I don't get it. I really don't. So, Beat Goes On. You can watch my first Vanilla Fudge review to see what that album was like. And that album is primarily just fairly straightforward psychedelic rock with lots of organ. Kind of heavy, but for the most part, pretty straightforward stuff. And it's pretty enjoyable for what it is. It's not a favorite of mine, as I mentioned, but I do enjoy it. This album is really different from that. The first album had a very song-based approach. It's divided into 4 phases. You can look here on the back. You got Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase 4. And it has a lot of different covers on it. You've got a few Beatles covers like I Wanna Hold Your Hand, I Feel Fine, Day Tripper, She Loves You, some Elvis stuff, Hound Dog. There's even some classical stuff like Mozart. So there's a lot of covers, and that's like what the first album was like. You had a lot of covers. But on this album, they don't flesh it out. They don't do these whole cover tracks. They just kind of do like minute-long snippets of a bunch of them. On side 2, there's a long collage of different speeches from politicians. And it's just a really bizarre album. There's no complete ideas. And that's my biggest issue with this album. If they were to actually flesh it out and do like a heavy organ rock version of Hound Dog by Elvis Presley, I would be completely on board with that, and I would think that was cool. But instead, there's just a lot of these little small fragments of songs, and they just put them together. It doesn't really work that well. There's, as I mentioned on side 2, there's just a long collage of speeches, and I really don't get this album at all. I'm not sure what they were doing, and some folks love it because it's just so out there. And I do listen to a lot of more experimental music, but this album just kind of rubs me the wrong way. It sounds sloppy to me, it really does, and it sounds like there wasn't a whole lot of thought in the arrangements. But again, if you like this album, I'm not, belittling your opinion at all. That's just kind of what I think. So my copy's in pretty good shape here. You'll notice this is a gatefold. So inside you have each of the musicians in Vanilla Fudge, and I think they wrote a description of themselves, or maybe someone else did. But anyway, it just describes each of the musicians and like their interests and stuff like that. So it's a cool album to have. I'm not gonna deny that at all. And Atco, this was released on Atco Records. The label here inside is different than the one was on the first Vanilla Fudge record. So I don't know if Atco changed in between those 2 albums or what. But either way, cool record. So here we're listening to their version of Hound Dog. Isn't really different from the Elvis Presley original. But on the whole, I do like that they experimented a little bit more with this album. The first album struck me as a little bit safe at times. This album, they definitely went all out and they tried a ton of new things. But I really don't think it worked out. I don't feel like there was just this clear artistic ambition. I feel like it was just kind of scattered all over the place in little fragments. So I don't really care for this album, but I know some other people do. Most people tend to not really like it that much, and I think it's disappointing. But it's one of those albums where it's so polarizing that you can't just listen to me, and you should probably hear it for yourself before you make a conclusive opinion about it, because it is something where you could listen to it and think it's great, or just completely not get it, and that's kind of where I am. So anyway, Beat Goes On by Vanilla Fudge. If you like really, really experimental psychedelic rock, you might want to listen to this one. I'm not entirely sure if I could recommend it just because I don't like it, but it is something that's cool to have in your collection. And if you like other Vanilla Fudge stuff, give it a shot, see how it fits in with the rest of their discography, and that is that. So, Beat Goes On by Vanilla Fudge, released in 1968. If I had to rate this, I'd give it like 1.5 out of 5. So not good. I don't enjoy this album. But check it out if you're unsure about what your opinion might be, if you're into more experimental stuff. So, Jeff here for Demise of Time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.